Hey guys, it's John and welcome back to my playthrough of Blueprints. Today we are going to start day 51. Hope that's okay with everybody. And if it's not, then, well, what are you going to do about it? Huh? Click off the video? You really want to do that when you're 18 videos deep in this thing? Hang on, let me adjust the light real quick. Well, I still can. We can't waste a single second. Everything must be optimized. All right, let's go to the outer room. I'm starting with a key, by the way, because of what happened with the clock tower. Okay, good. I wasn't properly lit in the camera, and that's just unacceptable. How about we just do tool shed, yeah? Starting with a magnifying glass and a shovel is great. That's fantastic. Thank you. All right, so let's see. I think that if we get the library this time, we'll be able to read about the history of Blackbridge, and that might illuminate a little bit more on the realms, maybe. Help us get to the bottom of what's happening with the Sanctum Key rooms. You know what? I really, it's kind of funny looking back that I coat checked the paper crown because I'm too scared to uncoat check it. Laboratory, hell yes. Okay, let's see. Let's start an experiment right now. Hope I get the crate one. Crates. Damn. Permanently add a gold to your allowance is very interesting. Each time you draft an upgraded floor plan. Yeah, sure. Cause I've got enough of those. I thought about doing the apple thing, but meh. Actually what we can do, let's go ahead and log into the network. And let's do that keycard thing right away. It's just worth it pretty much every time. Cause the odds that we'll get the keycard pretty low usually. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. How are y'all doing? I don't know how you expect us to have a conversation. If you said yes, if you said good, I'm doing good, then I'm glad. If you said bad, then I am sorry. We should start a phone tree. That's how we can do this. If you said meh, neither good nor bad, then I hope things change for the better. Anyway. Okay, so we're just gonna buy everything. Well, maybe not everything. I don't really want to buy the running shoes. Yeah. I don't really... 8 gold for running shoes? I mean... We're usually not in step trouble, right? I will take the library. And we're gonna just start reading. Let's go. Blackbridge. Here it is. The Curse of Blackbridge. By Redford Ewing. And we've got the magnifying glass so we can take a look at this. Very interesting. Yes, yes. So many clues here. Right? Let's see how long this is. Yeah, oh, it is long. Okay, guys, are you ready for a story? This is gonna help us with the puzzle, though. Okay, I gotta pick a voice that I'm okay with doing for a really long time. The Legend of Blackbridge. The Legend of Blackbridge. I could probably do that for a while. The Legend of Blackbridge. The Tale of Blackbridge. The Legend of Blackbridge. Yeah, I think I could just do like a deep narrator voice or something. The legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm, for versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and, as one might expect, increasingly horrific. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while all the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Part 1. The Berry Picker from Oris. This is during the First Era! Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst, in a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take any easy road out, an easy and well-traveled road paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentrylands. I swear I'm pronouncing that wrong. Gentrylands? That doesn't sound right. Where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, that notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to his vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry of being chastised for tearing upon his return. Wasn't there... I think there was a shrine blessing that I read about that involved berry picking. Am I making that up? It was like, instead of drafting a room, you can choose to pick a berry? Where am I getting that from? I feel like I read that when I was looking over the shrine blessings, whatever part that was. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way, Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended upon the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him.
A carriage is approaching.
The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses, and conveyed by a stern-looking driver, seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage. It was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal by the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effort that the noble steeds slid to a sudden halt with precise control.
"You, boy, get out from behind that bush,"
he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear.
"You startled me half to death, coming round the bend of my own drive, and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face."
Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the bramble and mud.
I was picking berries."
Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile.
"Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy."
Jesper took his cue to finally step forward from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket.
"I know, and what luck I found them. I have only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number."
The driver bent down for a closer look.
"And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far."
Jesper replied with a scripted response.
"A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods."
"My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning."
It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here.
"Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely, have you tasted them for yourself?"
Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile.
"In my youth often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far. And even then, my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward."
It was Jasper's turn to smile.
"Then let my efforts reward us both today."
He raised the basket even higher.
"A taste in memory of your youth, sir."
The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. And at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes.
"And for that taste, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth."
The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets.
Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you do not give me no cause, though I will admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me.
Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him.
Why have you no purse upon your person?
The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing towards the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered his knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly.
There's a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands, a concession I assure you of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat.
The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree, where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on this man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion.
I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me?
Jesper stopped, surprised by the question. Oh, okay.
I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me?
Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man.
If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency.
Inside, the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's backseat. A large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, 2 observations were made. Totemic symbols found carved on all 4 sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Orindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position.
Do you perhaps have a key?
Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box?
Without emotion, the driver replied,
There is no key to that box.
Jesper stood up.
Easy enough, then.
He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed, given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned.
You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed.
Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face.
What is it?
That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy.
One what, you mumbling agentor? And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person?
The man did not seem intimidated.
1 pace.
He paused for effect.
12 more, and you will be dead.
He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Hey-o! Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past, but now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would that knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here, beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries, and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces, and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if, by some stroke of luck, the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of gold trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4. Perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. I feel like we're getting a code of some kind. It's going to be like 4, 3, 3, 2 or something like that, right? Or I don't know. I'm just guessing. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task was too great to chance. And so, after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function oft secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses, seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. Part 2, Below the Blackbridge. Okay, this is not exactly what I had in mind. Interesting. I'm just going to look around a little bit. Make sure there's no, I don't know, codes or anything. Maybe something in the picture. I think it might just be a tale. Blueberries for Sal for adults. Interesting. Now this, I'm wondering if this chest is some kind of adornment. Nothing that I can really see, honestly. Yeah, nothing really that helpful. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay, so part 2. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person could have the cheek to awaken her in such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then stepped back into the dim. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered. She was on third watch today, quietly collecting her things and wits. Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful to not wake the sleeping bandits around her.
Like a hero in a book,
she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following the finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn, Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time, their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy, never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Blackbridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Orris and Reddington. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern-housed bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, subtly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's south end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long gray coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at Blackbridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge, information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like the typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the highroad's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the highroad, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Ravia was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing toward the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain, yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped over into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of this sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the river. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of the unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth, as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Jeffrey Heartslasher, led the others, what a name, cautiously approaching the crushed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, the way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as something special among the rows of similar swords marking neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Okay, so there's the effigy. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her. But even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. Louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave, her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness, pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed 2 bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. 2 bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began, blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. What a great story. Wow, amazing. Well, all right then. So I'm not sure if I learned anything that we can use in the Sanctum Key puzzles from that. I mean, once again, this is like a Orinda Ares, Fen Ares story. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we can do Rotunda here. Why not? I mean, it's possible that we might run into something later that I'll be like, oh, it's like Curse of Blackbridge, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Not sure where that gets us. And that's the last book from the bookshop, I believe. The one that's not like drafting strategy, you know. That doesn't really count for me. My allowance has been raised. Got a watering can. Yeah, we could do workshop. Key card, no way, this early? We're on rank 3 and we got a key card door? Dude. Huh, okay. Jeez. Yeah, we'll use the watering can. Let's take storeroom. It's an upgraded room. And we got the rotunda anyway, so I don't think we really need to worry too much. I'm gonna come back to the entrance hall once I have the sledgehammer, I guess. I have the sledgehammer. What's wrong with me? Sorry. He's wasting steps! I'm tattling. He's wasting steps. He's not using his steps as efficiently as he could. Oh, wow, really? I have 1,000,000 gems. Not really, I have 15, but it feels like generational wealth. Alright, well, assuming there's no keycard doors, could be okay here. I kind of want the courtyard. I don't know, it's the same thing. I don't know why I rotated it. It makes me feel better. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Dude, I don't need any more gems. If you can believe it, I don't need any more. Oh, man. Yeah, you know, we could do drawing room here. Yeah, we could do pantry. Let's do nursery because it's upgraded. Rabbit's foot? Sure. Okay, I already got security done. I think passageway makes the most sense. So. All right, rotunda. Oh my god. These are the only 2 keycard doors, by the way. The workshop one and this one are the only 2, and they're really early. Because remember, I set security to low. Oh, we can't. Oh no, dude. Unless we get a key card, we're screwed. Okay, well, we might get one here. It's possible. Rerolls. We could always reroll for breaker box as well. Lockpick. Coupon book. I mean, that's not really gonna help us. Wow. Oh, come on. Okay. It's the room in between the foundation and the antechamber. Is there ever anything back here? Well, okay, I guess we have one possibility remaining. This is so annoying. Okay. If we get breaker box here, everything is okay. And if not, then we'll have to call it a day. No big deal. Oh my god. I didn't even have to re-roll for it. Hell yeah. Okay. I prayed to RN Jesus and he answered. Alright, dude, come on. Thank you. Well, obviously we're not gonna do the solarium. Okay. Let's do the funeral parlor because it's an upgraded room. I'm gonna take the wind-up key just in case, but I'm probably not gonna. I don't need any gems, you know? Okay. We've got to take boiler room unless we want to redraw. We're gonna have to do the rigmarole, possibly. Billiard room, archives, weight room. We lose like 20 steps. I think we take billiard room here. Yeah. But then we can also check this. Oh. You have to press it twice. I'm not really sure why that is. Conference room. I'll take the conference room. Let's redraw. Let's take security just because it goes up and down. And it can stop bugging me to take it. Wow, again. Oh, don't you want to have a dead end here? We'll take laundry room. Wasn't there... Okay, let me look around. Because wasn't there something in the aquarium about the laundry room? Is there a place to dig, maybe? Aha. Dude. Another file cabinet. We gotta get the archives. What? That was hard to find. Okay. Okay. That's something, you know? Let's take... Let's take the dark room, and then I'll go back and turn it off with the breaker box or whatever. I know it uses up a lot of steps, but... We can easily get more steps if we get the dining room. So I'll try to draft that. Garage, keep the garage on, please. You know, big fan of this game, but sometimes the cursor's not locked. The cursor, like, unlocks from the window in certain sequences, I've noticed. Oh, car keys. Like, if some kind of animation is playing... Yeah. So wait, hang on. Oh my god, there's the key card. Well, now I want key card to be high. By the way, where do we dig here? Because this is the other one from the aquarium, isn't it? But it didn't say where to dig. I got lucky with the laundry room. Wasn't this it? Or was it? It might have been a different hallway now that I think about it. Here, let's go to security. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, we'll turn it to high. We should have done that regardless of whether we got the key card. Because once they're off, yeah. Uh-oh. I guess we gotta do this stupid billiard room puzzle then. And it's not stupid, I just am annoyed by it. (13 minus 10 squared is 9. 1 squared plus 3 squared is 16. Minus 14 is 2. Okay, so we start with -9 divided by 3. How dare you do this to me? -9 divided by 3 is -3. Okay, and then divided by 3 again is -1. Squared is 1 plus 1. Times 1 is 1. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. No, I'm so stupid. 13, 9, 13, 9, 2. Okay, wait. So you start -9. Okay. Divided by 3 is -3. Oh, but you square that, which would be plus 9, right? And then divide by 3 is 3 squared is 9. Times 1 is 9. Okay, I got it that time. I just needed a second to figure it out. We're running low on steps, but I believe in us. I've never had it happen a second time. Chapel. Okay, it might be East Wing Hall, where we can dig. But like, again, I don't know where the dig spot is. I'm basically like flying blind. I won't worry about it too much. Drafting studio, we gotta take it. Give me that classroom or whatever. There's only 2 left. Yeah, I'm taking the classroom. Yes, add it to your draft pool. Okay, now we can finally take the final exam. Dude, please. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for giving me the classroom. Now, I'm gonna take the conservatory actually. The reason is because I'd like to be able to ski the secret garden, you don't say. Adjust the rarity. Drawing room, observatory, common, just for stars. It's a good idea. Drawing room, commonplace. Yeah, I think that's fair. Rotunda. I don't really want a 3-gem room, to be more than rare, like more common than rare. Plus, it's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain to navigate, you know. Okay, we could take bacon and eggs here. I really need to get the archives. My allowance has been raised. You have raised your allowance. Okay. Sure. Cloister of Rena is an interesting one. That's another upgraded one. My allowance is going way up. I wonder if there's any... I'm gonna refrain from digging here. Okay, I think we take the pool here. The servants' quarters is tempting. We get lots of keys, right? But this way we get into the foundation. And that's what's important. This is actually... right, okay. I could dig up some keys. We don't necessarily need to dig up... we don't necessarily need to draft the kennel. Now, why do that when we can just dig up nothing? That's way better. Another keycard door. Good. Now, we're 2 off from getting the secret garden to appear. There's a key. Okay. I'm just gonna redraw. I don't love those. The vault is kind of funny. My allowance has been raised once again. What's it at now? 65? watch out. Okay, let's do observatory. I don't know if I'm gonna really be getting anything. Oh my gosh. Oh, interesting. Okay. West Wing Hall, maybe? I don't know if this is it or not. No, because it had couches. So, yeah, let's do Secret Garden Key. There's really no reason to go to the clock tower anymore. You know? Kind of no reason for that. I mean, we could go to the antechamber. Did I get the quest bedroom or no? No. It's not like my allowance needs to go up anymore. Oh, thanks for the metal detector. Thanks. I mean, wasn't there something we read that said that there's a safe in room 46? Or they said on rank 10. But I don't know how true that is. Oh, brother. Solarium. Morning room. Yeah, I think we're kind of nearing the end. Thanks for the salt shaker. Study. Bedroom. Walk-in closet. Let's redraw. Ooh, dining room can give us more steps. Mostly wanting something for tomorrow. Let's do quest bedroom so we can get more allowance. Yeah. Okay, so our allowance is like ridiculously high now. Like higher than it has any right to be. So we'll go to the antechamber real quick and pick up our allowance token, but then we're gonna call it a day. I don't see any reason to go anywhere else. That's too bad. But now I know we're not gonna get into room 46 either because that requires going downstairs and going through all the rigmarole there of flipping the switch. So yeah, our allowance is actually 68 now, so it's kind of ridiculously high. We added 10 to our allowance today through the laboratory experiment. So yeah, so the main thing that happened today was we were able to read the Blackbridge story in the library. Kind of disappointed with that. I don't see how it's relevant now, but one thing I've learned in this game is that a lot of times you get information that you're like, I don't see why I would ever need that or why I would ever use that information, and then later it turns out that you do. So I don't see how it fits right now, but that doesn't mean that it won't. I mean, it could be something as small as like you have like an infinitesimal chance of digging up the wooden effigy from the story, and then you're cursed. Because we know that curse, from when I try to take the coins from the shrine, curse is a mechanic in the game. So it's possible. I don't know. I'll see you guys in just one moment for the next run. Day 52. Nothing significant about that. There's 52 weeks in a year. I don't know. Just trying to fill time. Guess what we're gonna do? What we do every run. Check to see if we got shelter, or shrine, or schoolhouse. We can do the 9 classroom run. It's on. Let's go. Perfect. I'm gonna ace that quiz. Test. Exam. It's not a quiz. it's an exam. I'm ready for it. I feel like I am. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the library. You know what? I'm raring to go. What do we want to reread? I think Realm and Rune I want to reread because I gotta brush up on some of the moats and stuff. I gotta study. I do wish that there was more history that we could read. There are like, there's room here for like more checkboxes. Even though we've gotten everything out of the bookshop, I wonder if there's more stuff that we can read, or maybe more hidden books. Well, let's go ahead and try the classroom. Thank you for the magnifying glass. I'm actually gonna wait to get the apple. Because what if I get the laboratory and I get the, for every apple you eat, clear a box from the, you know, yeah, from the tunnel. Wouldn't we want that? We would want that. I kind of think I want conference room. I want conference room because it doesn't cost any gems. We get to collect stuff here and we don't completely cut ourselves off. I'm never gonna get that coat check item ever. Ooh, a hall pass. Ooh. Neato. Alright, let's see if we can get the laboratory or the office or security as soon as possible. We can redraw. I kind of think a classroom going this way is gonna be good, yeah. Let's see if there's anything on the desks. I don't think there is. We've already got 3 classrooms. I'm gonna redraw. We can do another classroom. That's a lot. Let's do, I mean, funeral parlor is interesting. It'd be a good way to get more gems. But I kind of think, let's do den. That gives us a free gem right here. So we can keep the chain going if we want to. We can get a dead end here. I'm thinking storeroom. Or none of those. That's fine. Let's get dormitory. We can get steps here after we draft classrooms, which is really funny. Oh, and we have die for rerolls. I love that. Okay. Let's go up. We've got 2 different ways up. Courtyard gives us gems. Yes. Possibly a shovel. We'll take a sledgehammer, though. For any chests that I see. Let's see. Garage gives 3 keys. But it costs a gem. Let's just get 1 gem with breakfast nook. Oh. Oh, a lockpick. Perfect. We don't need a million keys then. Yeah, well, we'll still have to use one. Observatory is tempting. I'm going to take hallway, though. Just want to make sure that we get as much mileage out of this run as we can. Oh, attic is kind of crazy here. I think it's worth it. I think attic is always worth it. Coin purse. Gem. Broken lever. Battery pack. Gem. Gem. Secret garden key. Coupon book. Okay, nothing honestly like I was kind of hoping for something a little better than that. All right. We got our gems refunded, so it's not a big deal overall. Let's actually take the observatory here. The observatory is almost always good stuff in here. All right. Gems, key, apples are extra delicious, and a gem. Again, we're really wanting to get laboratory. I kind of think commissary might be the way to go. I know I need more classrooms. I got 3 out of the way really early. Let's see. Let's buy a shovel. Let's buy everything, actually. There we go. We got the coupon book, so there's really no reason not to do that. We need a way. We need a way to go up here. I'm gonna redraw because we're missing. I'll take funeral parlor because we're missing a way to go up. Now we're doing really well on steps right now, so I'm gonna go back. I'm going to dig these up. Turnip. Oh, a salted turnip. Never had a salted turnip. Maybe it's really good. Another observatory. Psh. We could get some rerolls here and a gem from the boudoir. But I feel like the observatory just overall is super worth it. 5 gems, a key. Wow, we are doing really well. Apples are extra delicious today. Extra delicious. Okay, so yeah, let's keep going back though. I'm still not gonna eat the apples. On the off chance that we get a beneficial laboratory experiment. Anything spread around in here? Didn't think so. Alright. Well, don't really want the classroom going that way. Let's take pantry. Again, not gonna eat the apple. Archives. Oh, I never got the yeah, the archives key. Huh, let me take the spare room. Yeah, because I got that last run, but then I never got the actual archives room, right? Ah, man. Okay, we'll go morning room. I got it. Yeah, car keys. Okay. Wait, there's more? Oh. Didn't see them. We got another classroom here. Let's take chapel so that it buffs funeral parlor. I don't really care about missing a coin. I got it back anyway. And we're never going to come back here. So, closet. Okay. Just check in, making sure. Okay, and we're gone. Again, I don't need the apples right now. And if I come back here, then I'll be able to just eat them anyway. So I'm going to save them. I know they're extra delicious and yada yada yada, but if we get that in laboratory, it's going to be worth it. And at this point, the closer I can come to removing all the crates from that stupid tunnel, the better. The one thing that can mess us up here, keycard door, no security or office. I am going to take passageway. Yep. No keycard doors. Laboratory, hell yes. Okay. Look, there's an apple right over there. Let's get it. When you eat an apple, you clear a crate from the tunnel. Everybody say it with me. That's what we want. Okay, well. We didn't get either of those. Whenever you draft a shop room, for each bedroom you draft after your second, add a small chest. Let's do... Whenever you draft a shop room, set your steps to 40. Just so we don't run into any step trouble. And yeah, I mean, this is a pain, but it's worth it. I'll go to the security terminal. And I won't set the king benefit to shops until we need to hit 40 steps, because otherwise we're going to lose steps. I'll eat this apple just because it's here. 9. Wow. I'll get dark room. It's totally fine. Hope this is a schoolhouse. It is. School. Yeah. Classroom. Okay. I don't even need to check. I know. Archives is kind of crazy. Let's see. We're just gonna do classroom again. Right. Okay. And I don't think there's... Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay. The one thing that I think I need to brush up on is grade 8. Okay. Cloister of Verena, sure. Could do billiard room. Could be like the type of thing like I'll only solve the puzzle here if I need the keys. Otherwise, we're gonna try to rush classrooms. I don't think I can go back to the laboratory and turn keycard doors to offline, sadly, so we'll just have to hope that we don't run into them. It's fun taking risks. Don't you feel alive right now? No, I feel unsafe. That's you. We're gonna redraw these. Let's see. Grade 7 right here. Well, dining room is gonna definitely give us... Let's see. Servant quarters. Huh. They really, really do not want to give me a classroom here. Let's take the bunk room, because I think I have 2 hallways. Yeah, double the keys. Okay. Yeah, for some reason it was not giving me grade 8 there. No matter how many times I re-rolled. We'll work on that stuff if we run into a dead end. Otherwise, I think it's perfectly okay to keep going. We've got the secret garden key, which we can't use yet, but we'll probably do the drawing room. And then... secret garden key here. Just makes sense to me. It gives us, my god. Gymnasium, because I'm fine with losing steps. Keycard door. Great. Classroom goes back down and basically limits us to 4 different rooms. If we get weight room, then we get 3. One of them's a key card door, though. So, wait, is it? Okay, that's up. I should have turned him offline in the security room. I just was thinking about other things. Keys for sale. Can you get a key card from the locksmith? I think you can, can't you? Let's do a redraw. Classroom. Okay. We can go into the antechamber from here, which is thrilling because we might be able to, with the secret garden, bypass the key card. Yeah, in fact, we definitely will be able to do that. So, let's go try that, actually. Yeah. What's up? Apparently I was missing something there. Okay. Let's, open this. So now we can draft from the antechamber. Okay. Thank you. It's true that if I dig, I could get the key card. I've been trying to save dig spots for the kennel, but I guess it doesn't really matter, you know. I'm gonna take West Wing Hall to maximize. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll take Quest Bedroom to get an allowance, I guess. Oh, key card. Ayo. He's getting so lucky, despite his unskilled play. Alright, here we go. Hall pass. See, now there's the kennel. Although, at this point, I'm not so sure that it's going to help us at all. Do the secret. Oh, but I can't make it blue, right. Yes. I can't make it blue, can I? Is there a way that I could get... Let's do bedroom, so that we can maybe get more rerolls, so that we have a better chance of being in the classroom. Boudoir. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I don't really need the gems, so I'm just going to take these rerolls and run. And we're going to go... Okay, first of all, we are going to go to this classroom way up here. I'm not going to use the key card, although it is nice that I have it. Like, thanks. Sorry, is there... What is it detecting? Oh, wow. I did not see that. That was really obscure. Okay. Ajma of Nev El. Ajma of Nev El. Okay. Oh, yeah, thanks. Our allowance is 70 now. We are rich beyond our wildest imagination. Oh my gosh. See, ideally, you draft the last classroom from another classroom. That way you get the most rerolls. I'm taking this just because... Okay, here we go. Oh my god. This is it. Final exam. Please take your seat. I'm the only student here. 8 years certainly flew by. Reddington Elementary. I'm sorry, the elementary school graduation is at the end of grade 8. I know everybody does it differently, other countries and stuff. So in America, well, it's different. When I was growing up in the 90s, ancient times, it was grades 1 through 6 that was elementary school. And then at some point they changed it towards grade 1 through 5 elementary school, and then middle school is 6, 7, and 8. And then high school is 9 through 12, although now sometimes 9 is included in middle school. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand how and like in other countries, like they'll have different words for it. Primary school, secondary school, stuff like that. But I assume it's timed. So I just want to kill some time before we start. But yeah. Anyway. Well, let's go ahead and start it off. Your exam has begun. You will now have 30 minutes. Oh, 30 minutes to complete the next 18 pages of questions. This is an open book exam and you may use your notes. You guys are smugly pulling out your little blueprints diaries right now. I've got it all right here. After you've completed your exam, it will be graded remotely and results will be sent to you the following day. Oh my god. Sam left his house at 6 a.m. and drove 5 hours west and passed 8 flags. He then turned north at Tanner Fork and drove 2 hours north and passed 4 flags of the same color before arriving at Trinsdale at noon. What color were the flags? So you're expecting me to remember... You're expecting me to remember how the transit map was from the safe house? Is that what this is? I thought this was going to be over the last... Okay. In the scenario above, where does Sam live? Okay, so Sam arrives at Trinsdale. I'm actually not super clear on where Trinsdale is. Because these books, they love just talking about Orinda Aries and Fen Aries. I don't know, dude. What color were the flags? So he left his house, drove 5 hours west. He then turned north at Tanner Fork. You've got me. I'm gonna say, because I think this is where does he live? Well, he lives. What color were the flags? I'm gonna say they were red, because we're not too far from Trinsdale or Tanner Fork. But it's also hard to get the sense of scale from that map, really. But I assume that we're all on the same continent, so we're not in Arch Aries or Araja. I don't know where Fen is. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna fail this. What color is most often associated with hallways? Oh, we're gonna go from like the hardest question in the entire world to what color are hallways? Which of the following would be the least patriotic room pairing? A chapel in Fen Aries, a shop in Arch Aries, a greenhouse in Kararaka, a bedroom in Araja. I don't know. I don't know anything about Kararaka because there's been nothing written about it in any of the books. I only know its symbol. That's it. I don't know anything else about it. A chapel in Fen Aries. Why would that be a... Well, a chapel, because the chapel would have Orinda in it, right? Orinda, yeah. What color is the fruit that gives you +3 steps when consumed? Well, that would be... Uh-oh. Well, the apples are 2 by default. Bananas are 3. Oranges are 5. Green. There's no green fruit. Yellow. Oh, God. Solve the following problem. Plus 5 minus 5 times 2. That's 0. Okay. Plus 5 times 2. That's 10. Plus 2 times 2. 24. Solve the following problem. 5 minus 2. That's 3. Times 5 is 15. 16. 11. A lot of math on this. 10 divided by 4. Oh, no, sorry, times by 4. 40 divided by 5, 8 minus 4, 4. Solve the following problem. 1 minus 4, negative 3 times 2. That would be plus 9. Wait, is that right? 1 minus 4, negative 3. Oh, no, it's not squared. Sorry. What? No. Okay. Panicked for a moment there. Times 2. Okay, so... Sorry, that's actually negative 6. I was thinking of it as squared, but yeah, 1. Solve the following problem. You know, the dramatic piano music is not helping. Plus 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Times 8 is negative 8. Divided by 2 is negative 4. Plus 5 is 1. Which element on the periodic table is represented by the symbol C? Carbon? I didn't know I was gonna be quizzed on the periodic table, bro. Which element appears in the periodic table directly below helium? Well, it's not hydrogen, because hydrogen is the first one. Neon, titanium, or oxygen? I don't know. Well, isn't helium a noble gas? So wouldn't that mean... Isn't neon a noble gas? You gotta understand. The last time I used this information was half a lifetime ago, which for me is almost 2 decades. I would have studied it if I had noticed it would be on the test. I thought it was just what... Which of the following is not a real element found on the periodic table? Mount Holly is what it spells. I think Ho, actually. What is LL? That sounds wrong, actually. Is there a Y? All these sound fake. LL. Can I change my answer? No, once you've inked it in, you're locked in. Well, that's good to find. Why so many questions about the periodic table, bro? Are you serious? Which element on the periodic table is represented by the symbol Ag? It's silver. They want you to say argon, but it's silver. Which element could not be used in the spelling of the word clues? Chlorine is Cl. No. Yeah, well, wait. Sodium chloride. Is chloride chlorine? That sounds sus. I mean, wait, what's radon? That's not R? Uh-oh. Some of these have really dumb ones. I know I acted all like a know-it-all about silver being Ag, but yeah, iron is Fe and all sorts of weird stuff like that. Isn't gold Au or something? Yeah. How many elements are on the top row of the periodic table? 2? Oh my god, there's so many like chemists that are real smug right now. Doesn't everyone know this stuff? The city of Fen is south of which small body of water? I don't know where the city of Fen is. To be honest, the Trinsdale Lake. I don't know. What kind of a question is that? How many cities in Fen areas are larger than Reddington? Where would I get this information? See, like, I understand that we had, like, what was it, grade 3, had some of the periodic table stuff. Where would I get this information? How many cities in Fen areas are larger than Reddington? I don't know. Where do you find that? Which of the following realms is not near Fen areas? Oh, I got this one. Kararika, literally opposite side of the map. See, now that one I know. Which sigil core denotes the realm of Arch Ares? It's the mountain one. Which realm is directly north of Araja? Well, we gotta say Fen Ares. Where are you right now as you take this exam? Okay, we don't say Orinda Ares. Mount Holly. Featherfall Keep. No. Mount Holly. Reddington. Fen Ares. I think. Which two pieces of art would be best paired to depict the letter B? Oh, please. Bale Ale? Yeah? Yes? Which of the following pieces of art was not displayed in the grade 5 classroom? You can't be serious. Okay, Pry was there. Jungle? I don't remember Jungle being there. Bye. Which of the following pieces of art is not displayed in Mount Holly's entrance hall? Okay. Wait. Well, Face and Ace are there. Is Realize there? Realize is in the gallery. Can you find the difference? Wait, what am I saying here? What? What does this mean? BIMR. Huh? Oh, like imagine that they're two... I get it. That they're two portraits. Now keep in mind that this is a Fen Ares test. So what would they call Orinda? Well, it's Orinda and Orindia, right? So it's just I overcomplicated that. I was like, what political statement are they trying to make by including Orinda here? Who was the first crown ruler of Fen Ares? That would be Prince Learson. Yeah. In which era? Oh wait, no, Learson died, didn't he? Oh, is it General Teskin? I forgot, because he added to the bodies, didn't he? Oh no, Desolate's 4 added to the bodies. I'll have to reread that. In which era were the railways of Fen Ares destroyed? Well... Were the railways destroyed? How long did the War of the Fifth Era last? 22 years. The railways? The 6th era, I guess? What was the first capital city of Fen Ares? Wasn't it... Oh, of Fen Ares? Fen. Right? Which realm gifted Fen Ares a dirigible to headway their victory parade at the conclusion of the war? Arch Ares? It certainly wasn't Orinda Ares. How dare you? Arch Ares? The deciding battle of the War of the Fifth Era was fought near what famous landmark in 1836? The War of the Fifth Era. I don't know, that wasn't covered in Caleb Holloway's book, was it? Angel Tower. Mount Holly. Colossus Orinda? I don't know. I did not do well in this. This is harder than I thought. I'm going to take it a couple different times. Solve the following problem. So 6 squared is 36. Negative 3 squared is 9. Minus 3 is 6. 12. Oh, yeah, so this is 21. Oh, okay, yeah, see? I know this. Now, 11 divided by 3. Oh, but then you round it. So wouldn't this be 4? Because it's closer to 4 times 3 than it is 3 times 3. 4 squared, 16, 21, divided by 2. So that would be 10.5. Right? Wait. 4 squared, that's 16. Plus 5, 21, divided by 2, that's 10.5. Divided by 1. Well, that would be... I'm gonna come back to that. 5... Wait. Oh, no, subtracted by 1. Sorry, not divided by 1. Minus 1. Okay. Divided by 2 is 10.5. Minus 1 is 9.5, which would be 59 if we're inversing the digits, right? I don't know. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Oh, wait, no, times 2. Oh, my God. Just use the signs. We have them for a reason. 5 times 2 is 10. Divided by 3 is 3.3. Now, if we're rounding... well, then it would be... 3.3 minus 1, 2.3 divided by 6. Maybe I just don't understand how this works. Divided by 6. Oh no, it's times 6. Good Lord. 5 times 2. Divided by 2. 2.5. Oh no, times 3 is 7.5. Right? Wait, what's multiplication and what's division? Pink is multiplication, purple is division. That's why I'm so confused. Okay. Back up. 16, 21, 42... Wait. Oh my God. It's 14. Okay. I've got it. For some reason, at some point, I swapped them and I was like, pink is division. Purple is multiplication. Okay. 5. So that's divided by 2. 2.5 times 3, 7.5. Oh my God. Stop doing that. How much time do we have? How many questions are there? 46? Okay. We're making good time then. 5 times 2, 10. Or no, divide by 2. God, 2.5 times 3, 7.5. Okay. Minus 1, 6.5 times 6. So you got 39. And you got plus 100, so 139. But you got 3 of the lines. So does that mean 100? Oh, okay. Yeah, because you're... If how I'm thinking of it is correct, it's rounded to the first digit, second digit, third digit. Okay. What is the Eurasian word for house? How dare you? This is what I was like, I gotta make sure. Nevyite. What does this mean in Eurasian? It means new gate. You know what? Don't insult me with this. The phrase trevenle can be translated in several different ways. Which of the following is not an acceptable interpretation of this phrase? Okay. That old tree. It's not owned by me. That sounds right. My tree is not very old. That is it. I cannot see... Wait. I cannot see the tree trunk. I am not an old tree. Okay, that first translation is right. These other three are weird. Tree. So I mean, literally it's tree, old, and then not me. Right? Because lay is the opposite of L, which is I or me. My tree is not very old. Huh. I think I am not an old tree makes sense. I think that's right. I cannot see the tree trunk. I'm going to say that because that doesn't... What are you talking about, see? I mean, ver is a Spanish verb, right? So ven is... it's Spanish, but it's not Eurasian. How would you say the following phrase in Eurasian? You have a very, very long name. Oh boy. Okay. Dao is day. Then old day. Goodbye. Old day, goodbye. That's not right. Olrajoram. Oh my god. Jor is... Well, lore is word. Word, lu, and that's opposite of ol, right? And... Right. Radao. Let's move on to the next one for now. How would you tell an Eurasian, count me out? I mean, we're failing this anyway. We're not passing. Leave Lou? Lay. Not me. I guess lay is not me, right? L, count, vo. So olv is towards, vo is out. So you don't have verbs in Eurasian. L count vo? That sounds right. Me count away. Like out. It could be a literal translation of count me out. I mean, also D is like literally not me, so I guess you could also do that. Using the provided Eurasian terms for cardinal directions above, what would be the clearest way you could give directions to someone at point A to get them to point B? Why would you do that? Okay, so in is north, is south, or is west, et is east, which I think I knew that. North, east, south. Okay, that's probably not right. East tree. That's not gonna tell anyone anything. Okay, so you say hello north, east goodbye. Hello, tree. East, south. Hello, west. That's like incredibly convoluted. Ajin. Okay. Wait, I got that right, didn't I? Ma and Am. Et tree. East tree. East tree. That doesn't tell you how to get, that tells you how to get to the tree, but on point B. Trevo. East ja. I think C. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to be done with this. In ancient Orindia, the number 8 was considered by Ageran scholars to be mathematically near perfect. Though many in the secular sphere held that only this advanced form of 8 was worthy of numerical perfection. Oh my god, I mean... I don't even know what's going on right now. So 8 squared, by the way, is 64. So you want there to be like it to be as 8 as it could possibly be. Well, if you square 8 twice, then you're gonna get a huge 8 number. I think what we have to do, well, an advanced form of 8. Is it a way to say infinity? $64, 48. Oh wow, I'm totally off the screen. You know what would be great is if we did a baseball. 6, 64, 6.4. I'm not sure I understand what we're looking at here. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just answer one of them. It would make sense that if we're trying to get like a perfect 8, that we would use the baseball lines. So I don't know. Okay, and I answered all of them, right? Oh, I didn't answer this one. You have a very, very long name. I'm just gonna guess. I don't want to think anymore about things that don't matter. About languages that don't exist. And all this other stuff. Pissing me off. Okay. Oh, ma is small, am is large. Aj is first, ja is last. Lay is a lack of myself. So I could have just said lay. Right. That's okay. You know what? We didn't know what we were getting into. So I feel like I did okay just for that. Okay. I guess we're done here. I can't think of anything else. I didn't even use my experiment, which is kind of funny. Oh boy, I definitely didn't do it right. Like I did not pass. Will I get like the results? I mean, I kind of want to start just Let's just see what we get. If we, because I need to know what I got. It'll probably say, sorry, you didn't pass. And then I'll be like, damn! I actually did better than I thought. I got 100% on math. Okay, so but 71 on algebra. Okay, okay, and of course it doesn't tell you. Oh wow, I got 100 on science, 100 on art, 75 on color. Well, okay, but like some of those. My Eurasian needs work 50%. That's bad. History 67%. I'm sorry. Some of those asking me about Carrarica. Like, I guess it was just an incorrect answer, right? But I just wish I knew anything about Carrarica or Morajai besides the puzzle boxes. Like, there's nothing, there's no information out there about the Western continent. When were the railways destroyed? Oh, I'm sorry. Did they say that anywhere? I mean, I might be wrong. Overall, though, I'm happy with a C+, considering no notes, right? All memory. Well, we'll take it again, and we'll ace it next time. I'll make sure to keep in mind certain things about it, like, yeah, I think there's just some things about algebra that I don't understand with this system that they have. There's some aspects of it that I'm not understanding. Okay. Sorry, getting ready for a charity stream tomorrow. Well, by the time you see this, it'll have already happened weeks ago. I don't really want any of these, but I'll take the trading post. We still haven't found that vault key. Do I need to dig in here? All right. Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero has these cool, you can't see them. They're like Jurassic World cans. They're red and black, and they got T-Rexes on them. It's neat. I don't really support Jurassic World in any way. I'm a Jurassic Park purist. But I'm glad that they're there. So this is Trinsdale, right? Okay, right. Face, ace, Trinsdale. Again, I'm not going to eat the apple. Commissary? Sure. I think I saw coins back there like one time. And ever since then, I haven't seen any. Observatory. I don't really want to take the library yet. I'll go to the corner. I mean, I'm taking the attic. Yeah. This early? Give me all this. Okay, now what is my goal for here? For this run? It helps to have some kind of goal. I think at this point I'm like laboratory experiments. Okay, 6B. Like whatever laboratory experiment I can get that removes crates from the tunnel. That seems to be the main thing I'm trying to get right now. Security. So first of all, we'll do the keycard thing. And then we'll access an offline terminal to start an experiment. Okay, sorry about that. Remote terminal access via terminals, laboratory. Please. Okay, how about every time I eat an apple, permanently increase my lock picking skills? Yeah. Okay. Exactly. And we'll start off with this one right here. Your skill in picking locks has improved. Now, hopefully what we'll do is we'll get the secret garden key and we'll just get like a ton of apples that way. Or we can find the kitchen. That'd be good too. Apples are extra delicious. Okay, let's see. Take funeral parlor. Morning room, chapel. Quest bedroom. Okay. Take the billiard room. Two squared, 4 minus 2, 2 plus 2, 4 squared, 16. 10, 15. Wait, what? 10 plus 5, 15. Minus 20 is negative 5. Squared. Wait, what? 15 minus 20. Negative 5. Squared is 25. Minus 20. Okay, is 5. Or wait, 5. And you square it again. Right? The final exam has fried my brain. 10. 15. Negative 5. Squared is 25. Minus 20 is plus 5. Squared is 25. Divided by 5 is 5. There's a lot of 5s going on there. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Times 3 is 3. Squared is 9. Divided by 3 is 3. Oh, whoever designed that, like, please. Please give me a break. That was so annoying. I hate you. Okay. Passageway goes crazy. Or Cloister of Rena. Sure. Do I have the shovel? I do. Okay. Can we dig up apples? Unimpressive pebbles. I like how they clarify that they're unimpressive pebbles. As if there are impressive pebbles out there. Like I would pick those up and be like, these actually are not bad. Hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good pebble. Huh. Let's do, so I can get the kitchen, let's set it for shops. Because the kitchen could have apples. It's possible. On the menu. Ah, banana. Okay, yeah, bananas are yellow and they have 3 steps. Okay. Not gonna buy any of those though. No offense. If I can get a conference room, I will. Because then when I do Secret Garden, I can just have all the fruit gathered in one place. I like that trick. It's fun. Let's do Observatory again. Oh. Wow, apples are extra delicious. Again. You know, it's every day now that apples are extra delicious. Maybe apples are just really good. Oh, let's get the laundry room, actually. Let's see, where was it? Okay, it was over here. Ah. I want to try this in the archives. Okay. We could do the secret garden right there. But like I said, I do want to try and see if we can get conference room first. Thanks. Yeah, we could just do the garage. That makes good sense to me. Way to dig in here? Can we dig? No. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll just do the secret garden key. Coins. Huh. So that would look. Aquarium, sure. Do boudoir? Yeah, gymnasium works. Look and see if there's like anything on the ground. Oh my gosh, my keys are getting used up. I'm redrawing. Passageway goes crazy. Furnace is very interesting if we had a freezer. I think getting that to line up is going to be really difficult. I think what you have to do is you have to get a freezer, and then you have to set your previously unset king to red rooms, and then hope that you draw the freezer. That's what I'm guessing anyway. Yeah, let's do locksmith. That works. I wonder if we can get a vault key here. Well, if we can. I'm not sure. If it ever drops. I've never seen it drop. We can just get the office here. Great, we can go in. I do have the quest bedroom. Let's get our allowance token real quick. We have a ridiculous amount of coins now. I'm rich. I mean, I do own the estate. You could make the argument that I don't have to pay for anything. Freezer is interesting. The thing is, if we pick the freezer... Our gems get frozen. Let's take the dining room. I don't know. I mean, what is there like a book in there on Kararika? What kind of weather do they have in Kararika? It's written all in this book in the freezer. As everyone knows, it's windy. Oh, right. Okay. Well, let's go this way. Key card, y'all. Which I don't have. We need to get the archives ASAP. Think the throne room is the way to go here. The throne room is very expensive for what you get, which is nothing. You get nothing here. You lose. Good day, sir. If I do special keys, I don't know if I get a black print or not. Let's do walk-in closet. Might get a key card. Yep, did. Okay, and okay, I was about to say there's only 3. Courtyard. At some point we gotta go back and check out the apples. Because there's apples spread out everywhere. Oh, sleeping mask. You know, of all the things to find in a closet, that makes the most sense. Take spare green room. Vault key. We gotta get the vault now. Wait, what color is the vault? We gotta get the vault. It's blue. Okay. Damn. Yeah, we really gotta get the vault. Wow. Either that, or we get coat check. Because we could get coat check. And throw the vault key in there. I can't believe we got it. The true treasure of the trove is not in this room. So it is in this room. The true treasure of the trove? What do you mean the true treasure? Bruh. I'm gonna make burning glass, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try, if we can't get the vault or coat check, then maybe we can get the freezer, and I can try to use burning glass in the freezer because I can see that working. So we've got 3 different ones that we can get. I think what I should do... Let's get the showroom. Okay, we've got tons of coins. What could we get here? Chronograph. While drafting, you may rewind time after drawing new floor plans. You are more likely to draw tomorrow rooms while drafting. So coat check will be more likely to get. I'll take silver spoon too, just because we're gonna be getting apples and stuff on the way back. I think I've only had 1 apple. Whoopsie. Okay, we're going back. Let's go through the throne room. Well, okay. Here. We gotta go back this way. Secret garden. There's an apple. Permanently increases my lockpicking skill. And gives me 16 steps because they're extra delicious and I have a silver spoon. So that was jaw-dropping. Okay. Anything in the garage? Y'all got an apple in here? Any apples? No? Okay, then let's go back here. Mount Holly, did you have an apple? No? Secret passage right in front. Let's go this way. Apple. Lockpicking skill up. Wait, there's a green apple. Wait, there are green apples? I guess now that you mention it, I just hadn't really thought about it. I thought they were all red. Huh. Okay. This way now? There's an apple right here. Skill in picking locks has improved. I mean, how good can it get, right? How high can it go? You can get really, really high, I guess. Okay. Yeah. An apple in the funeral parlor. Have some respect. Wow. Pretty good. Is there an apple in the attic? Why would there be an apple in the attic, you know? You gotta wonder. Who would bring one up there and just leave it like that? So, I've actually had 7 triggers today. All right, here we go. Oh, the freezer. The freezer is interesting, but I really want to get the vault. But we only have one reroll. I wish I had coat check. Huh. I don't know. This is a tough one. Because I don't even know if you can use the burning glass in the freezer. It just said the furnace. But if the furnace works, burning glass would be able to be used too. I'm going to redraw. We had chronograph anyway. Mailroom. We could do ballroom. Let's do ballroom. Okay. We get another shot. Freezer again. Alright. Damn. I got the vault key. You can do it. Okay. That's what I thought. So you can get stuff like the gems and the key. Not that we need them. Okay, well we still got something new. An upgrade disc. The network servers are finally out of cold storage, or at least as many of them as we could fit into the surrounding walls of the grotto off of the East Drive. The last few days have been very busy, but I'm glad I was able to take a short break from gardening to help Randolph install the network. It was, after all, the least he could do, since it was I who suggested the final location. We decided that we are going to store the 2 unused servers here in Mount Holly's freezer. They should serve as readily accessible replacements should any of the primary consoles fail. Denny Ravane, admin key Rava D. Of course, it got revoked right when he got fired. Okay. An upgrade disc. Here's what I'm interested in. This right here. And what's that? What is that? Oh, it's just a silver key? Thaw only in the event of my death. Simon, I had wished for you to read this letter upon first arriving at Mount Holly, but I couldn't risk the contents of these pages falling into unsympathetic hands. My personal freezer should provide quite the safe box, as all of the staff have, for many years, respected my wishes that remain shut and untampered. My favorite snacks were also stored here. But in addition to these delicious treats, it has also for the last 20 years stored many a cryptic message and ciphered note. This nondescript cooler is, in fact, a dubious frozen postbox of chilled secrets. Have you heard of the Children of Black Water? I have no idea how forthcoming your father has been about the details surrounding your mother's final chapter, or the role he thinks I played in that end. I have always denied involvement. To him, to the detectives, to the Crown, and now to you as well. But can I honestly say I had nothing to do with her disappearance? And yes, I speak of disappearance, not death. For I, too, cling to the hope that our fears are unfounded, and have occasionally from time to time caught fragments of information that bolster this belief. Fragments of information that have cost me plenty, for our country is never short of opportunists and blackmailers. Still, as I am now dead, I don't want this knowledge to be buried with me, even if that means passing the burden of these fragments on to you, even if that information may weigh even heavier on your head than the Crown involved. Unfortunately, this information is a little too precious to entrust entirely to this freezer, as I'm not too confident that the sanctity of my snacks will extend beyond my life. I've always found it best to use multiple baskets when it comes to incriminating eggs, a lesson that I recently learned again when a member of my staff betrayed my confidence. I have placed 8 red envelopes in 8 even more secure locations throughout the estates, and left a hidden message for you among the art that hangs in almost every room in this house, right? The drawing room puzzle. This message is the key to unlocking these secrets, but you must be open in your interpretation as the message itself harbors multiple double meanings and hidden entendres. One final word of guidance. The safe combinations you are seeking will not be found in writing on the estate, so I hope you haven't been wasting too much time jotting down random invoice numbers and dates, only by deciphering the many meanings of the 44-character message. Even can you hope to unlock its main mysteries. To each their own letters. A Herbert S. Sinclair. If we count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. Although I prefer my version. If no count. So can I store things here? Like, say, just for example, vault key 370. Yeah, I don't know if you can. I assume that they wouldn't want, like, another code check. You know? Okay. Well, that's too bad. Let's go use the upgrade disc. Right over here in the security. It's too bad that I couldn't do more, but sometimes you just don't get what you need. Oh, what? What? Okay. Sorry. There we go. Let's see what we have. Billiard room upgrade. Speak easy. Basic edition. That's funny. If you call it a day in break room, tomorrow you'll begin the day with a staff key card. Pool hall turns it into a hallway. Adds Great Hall, Foyer, and Secret Passage to today's draft pool. Great Hall and Foyer is a amazing combo. Most of the time when I use billiard, I just kind of want to get through the dartboard puzzle for some easy keys. So basic addition might be the way to go. Starting with a key card tomorrow, it's like, I don't know. Tomorrow? Who knows what tomorrow's gonna look like? Might be wasted. I'm not really looking for like long runs anymore, really. I'm looking for very specific rooms now. Same with this. Like I rarely find myself needing like help to finish out the floor. So I might just take speakeasy. I don't want to hear any judgment either. I got 100 on the math on the test, okay? Yeah. So now we can get keys faster, is my thought. All right. Yep, that's going to be it for me. We'll call it a day. It's a shame about the vault, but what can you do? All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. So we made some progress, some incremental progress. I hope that we can draft the schoolhouse again and get a second crack at that exam, because I think if I study up again, I could have a good chance of acing it now that I know what to expect. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Think critically.